Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the design log, which is the most important part of your project. So given only a few lessons left, what should you spend that on? Well, the design log is one of the most important things. I'll spend quite a bit of time working on that. Because if we look at this here, you can see that it covers three sections, section A, B and C. So section A, 7 to 9 marks, they've justified their design decisions. You're going to be able to do that in your ePortfolio and in the design log. The design log is really where it's going to be, where you're going to be able to really put down the sentences, really write about what you've done and justify that and say why you've done that. It's in the design log. Section B, this is about vector graphics. So scalable graphic elements of vector tools, which I'll talk about in a minute. They've described clearly their use of drawing tools to develop most of the elements. Again, that's in the design log where you're showing that. And again, with section C up to 7 marks, they've described their use of bitmap tools to develop each of the elements. So if you add that up, if you've got full marks for all that section, you're getting a total of 21 marks out of 33. That's 64% of your final marks. So basically, you're getting a C grade just in this section alone. So we need to get this right. So in this video, we're going to talk about these things here. So justification of design decisions, describe bitmap tools used, describe vector tools used, and file formats for saving work. When we look at some software like this is Fireworks. See this section here, we've got bitmap tools and vector tools. Now, you would have used all of these, and if you haven't, you need to start using them. For example, a rectangle tool you might have used in your banner, in the creation of your banner. You might have used the marquee tool or the magic wand tool to get rid of a background. Now, you need to evidence this. You need to write about this, okay? Because you've got two sets of tools there that you can write about. The majority of your images will be bitmap, and that's where most of the marks comes. But you can write about vector tools here, and you can gain marks for that here. You might have added text as well. That's vector-based tools. Vector-based tools are vector images, or when I enlarge the image, it doesn't pixelate. It stays the same in the same shape. It doesn't have this sort of pixelation effect that you get with bitmap images. So in my design log, you may have done yours in Word. That's absolutely fine, or you may have done it in PowerPoint. My two classes, one has done it in PowerPoint, one's done it in Word. That's absolutely fine. The most important thing is you cover the areas that we talked about back here. Justification of design decisions, describe drawing tools, and bitmap tools as well. So you cannot be detailed enough with this. When we go through that, we've talked about the fonts we've used. Why did you choose that Kristen ITC font? Why did you choose light green? Because it might have been a vegetarian theme. You might have chosen a dyslexia friendly font. That's a really good sentence to write there, because it was dyslexia friendly. Okay, maybe back that with some research if you can, but normally sans serif fonts like this or like this tend to be dyslexia friendly. Fonts with serifs in it, like Times New Roman, aren't usually known as being dyslexia friendly. So that's the justification of design decisions. Then you really need to pick apart how you created that. And what the student needs to add here is they've used a bitmap tool there, okay? So they need to talk about that. This is a bitmap tool. I've used a bitmap tool here. Really be explicit in saying that. I've used a bitmap tool here to do this, okay? Real detail, there's the vector tool there, so she can write about the vector tool used there. Again, more detail. This is really going into absolute detail about how that was created right from the beginning, and then just more justification of design decisions there, how to improve, what she thinks went well, and how she's going to improve that. Okay, then I'm looking for that evidence there. So basically, when your work is marked, we're looking for this evidence, and if we're going to give you 9 marks, you've got to have a good set of products. Okay, you can have an amazing set of products, but if you haven't done your design log, if you haven't justified your design decisions in your design log, you're not going to be able to hit that top mark back. You may not even get into that, even if your products are absolutely amazing. If you haven't done that, we cannot justify that. We cannot put that in at that grade there. And moving on to section B, you must tell us how you made that product. You cannot go into too much detail with this, even if that means you have to go back and you have to remake your work. I mean, if we look at this, we've got the blimp here, we've got all the shapes right from the beginning, okay? And we've got some use of bitmap tools here. Then we've used the follow me tool and it's been detailed there, okay? There's not really too much to do with justification of design decisions there because it is what it is. But when you come to the colors, then yes, you do need to be justifying that. Why did you make that bitmap, that blimp green, for example? Why did you choose green? And this is what the students need to add there to improve that feedback. I mean, why green? Why a light green background? Will that stand out enough against the sky? Okay, will that be bright enough? If you think it will, then absolutely fine, but you need to justify that. I chose bright green because it's a vegetarian, vegan festival, and I wanted to represent the theme, that theme. Okay, then she would need to add some text for that. She has done there. Again, justify why you put that white band around there. There's nothing wrong with that, but I would justify it. I would say why. All this is about, this is not about making new products. This is the majority of your marks. Yes, you've got to have a good set of products, but you can also improve your mark here, even if you haven't got the best set of products, by really justifying your design decisions, by really telling us how you made the products, by really telling us how you used the tools, bitmap tools. So again, bitmap, vector tools here, you can write about these, okay? And you need to do that. It's up to 21 marks this, so we need to get this right, and the design log covers 3 sections here. Yes, you need a good set of products, but you need to write about it really well, and I don't think enough of you have actually done that, and that's what we need to do now. Okay, so have a look in the folder at the models and get writing. The more you write, the better.